You know you want to manifest something different in your life, but you're not really clear on what that something is. I'm going to tell you exactly how I manifest my own dream life and how you can manifest a dream life for you, even when you don't know exactly what that looks like. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Joanna M. Cameron. I'm a licensed mental health therapist and I'm an empowerment life coach. And I work with women to empower them to live the life that they truly desire without feeling any guilt for anyone who might try to hold them back. So watch this video if you want to manifest a dream life and you kind of know what it looks like, but you're not really clear on how to go about it. The first thing that I do when I want to manifest anything in my life is I get clarity. I have to be crystal clear on what it is that I want to manifest. We put things out there, we say that, we want this, we want that, but we don't have a clear idea of what it looks like. So we're just trying to piece together things and we want a little of this, a little of that. But the key to manifesting, the number one step is getting crystal clear. So anything that I've ever struggled with manifesting is simply because I didn't have a clear visual on what I wanted it to look like. And the way that I get a crystal clear visual on that is I start to jot down things. And you can use a journal, you can use a piece of paper, you can use your phone notes, whatever it is. Anything that you think you want or anything that you actually do want, just start writing it down. You have to be willing to allow your mind to go above what you can see. Because manifesting, while it's not miracle work or any type of hocus pocus, it is using your imagination and going beyond the 3D, beyond what you can actually see to get what you want. So I'll start writing things down. I'll put things in notepads. I have notepads everywhere. I use my journals and I just start to let my mind go. I allow my mind to just go to places that aren't necessarily reality, but they're things that I want. And even if they're not the exact picture of what I want, it's the idea, it's the concept of something that I want to have in my life. So it may be a feeling, it may be an emotion, it may be an actual tangible thing. It may just be a color of something. So I'll start putting all these things together and then they kind of start coming together in a way that helps me to be able to articulate and identify more of what it is I really want. So on my vision board, I have that I live to eat, drink, travel, and give. And while that's very vague, what it does for me is it helps me to relate to the things that I enjoy doing. And then I'm able to go back and give specifics on some of those things that I want to eat, some of the things I want to drink, some of the places I want to travel, and some of the causes I want to give to or people I want to give to. And that's what I mean by like jotting things down and putting things down in a way that'll help you get to the ultimate goal of what it is that you're truly desiring. So now that I know that I want to eat, drink, travel, and give, only thing that's left for me to do is to put the specifics of what that looks like. So that's what I want you to do. You have to get crystal clear. And when you're not crystal clear, start with vagueness. Start with a broad spectrum of what it is you want to do. And then you start to narrow it down. So then after you put the specifics of what it is you want, and even if you're still just stuck on the vague, that's okay. You'll get to the specifics. I want you now to get into the embodiment of what it would feel like to be able to live a life where you get to do that thing that you say you want to do. And remember, if you're not crystal clear on what that thing is, but you kind of have that broad base, just allow your mind to go to the broad thing. So if I say that I want to live a life just filled with travel, I don't necessarily have to know where I want to travel, but what does it feel like for me to be able to travel? What does it feel like when I go to the airport or when I get in my car? Just start putting yourself in those spaces and imagine the feeling of what that feels like. And by that, I mean, okay, so you're getting in your car or you're going to the airport and getting on that airplane so that you can now travel. Are you feeling excitement? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling anticipation? What are you feeling when you're getting yourself ready for that travel, that trip that you want? And if for you, if it's you desire to have a certain job, but you may not know exactly where you want to work, but you're making this transition from this job that you're currently in to this new position. What does that feel like? What did it feel like when you got the phone call saying you get the job? What did it feel like when you're going to sleep at night and now you get to wake up later because you're getting this new job that allows you to get up later? So even down to the specifics of the time of day when you wake up, if it's related to a job or even going on a vacation, even traveling somewhere, what time are you going to wake up? What's it look like outside? As many things that you can do to start embodying, like really taking that on into your person of what it's going to feel like to have that thing, that's going to help get you to that space even quicker. So I just went to Tokyo and I manifested that trip because I had on my vision board a picture that for me represented a building in Tokyo. I knew that I was coming up on planning a new trip and going somewhere, didn't quite know where, I was going to go or where I wanted to go. And Japan came up. In the conversation with my husband, he and I just started talking about going to Japan. We talked about it for a little while, but we didn't put any real, stock in it and say, okay, this is definitely where we're going to go. But I decided, let's go to Japan. And lo and behold, what do we see? We see the representation of that temple that I have on my vision board. And all I did was put it on there as one of the places I was going to travel, because remember, I'm going to eat, drink, travel, and give as the things that represent my life. And although I didn't have Japan specifically on my vision board, the representation of that temple has been on there for a while. When I look back at my photos, I'm like, wow, I actually saw many temples that looked exactly like what I have on my vision board. So that's another check mark for me. And I just embody the feeling of that. When we started talking about going to Japan, I started visualizing, what I was going to do over there and some of the things that I was going to eat and the things that I was going to experience and drink. And I even envisioned going to some of the temples, not knowing necessarily what they were going to look like. And I never went back and looked at my vision board to say, hey, I'm going to find a building that looks like this. It just was something that had been on my vision board, because at the time of placing it on there, I just knew at some point it would manifest itself. So you just have to get to a point to where you're crystal clear about what it is you want. You have to get to a point to where you're able to embody that feeling of what it is you want. And now the last thing that you really want to do is just believe that it's already going to happen. You just want to get to a place to where you're completely comfortable with it occurring, and know that no matter what you do, no matter what's going on in the 3D, in your reality, that the thing you say you want to manifest is already in the works of coming together. The biggest thing that you have to understand is getting clear. The clarity part is like the part that people want to skip over, and they forget that how is God going to answer that question for you if you don't even know what the question is you're asking? So when I say that it's okay that you're not really clear, it's okay in the beginning to not be really clear. Just go ahead and take those steps to get you to a point to where you're clear. And by that, like I said, you want to go back and you want to start jotting things down. You want to journal. You want to write them down on a notebook or in your notes in your phone, and just be broad with it to begin with, but then start putting in different things that will help you identify the specifics of what it is you want. You know what you like. So don't be afraid to ask and put it out there. You can ask for anything. So don't feel like you have to, watch what you say or your words or what you think. Nobody is judging you on this. Nobody is telling you the right or wrong way or the right thing to think or want. Nobody's in charge of this but you. And nobody has to know unless you tell them. So go ahead and be as broad as you want, and then be as specific as you need to be able to help you manifest what it is you want. So after you've done all those things and you now are very clear because you've put some stuff down and you put in the things you wanted, you put it out there to the universe, and you've made your request as big and wide as they are, and you're living in that thing, you're embodying it, you're visualizing yourself doing the thing and acting as if it's already happened, and waking up just in the moment as if that day has come. The last thing you want to do is don't worry about how it's going to come about. We are such a controlling creature that we want to know how it's going to manifest, when it's going to manifest, what time is it going to manifest, and then we want to go back and look like, I don't see it yet, and where is it? Don't do that. I want you to fight the urge, the temptation to check on it and to doubt and worry all about it. I want you to just release it, because go back to living in the moment as if it's already done. And if you do that on a regular daily basis, you're not going to be so worried about the who, what, when, where, and how. But the how is not your concern. The universe, God, has all of that under control. So you don't have to worry about the how it's going to be done, because what that does is it puts you right back in the 3D, and you're trying to figure out, well, it looks like because this is taking place that my manifestation isn't coming. But if you're believing that it's already yours, and you're living in the moment, and you're feeling as if it's already happened, and you're tasting the food that you're going to taste, you're feeling the ocean breeze as you're on this beach vacation that you've come up with in your mind, then the how doesn't matter. The how doesn't matter because you're living in the moment. You're enjoying the moment. And I know it's a little crazy sounding that you're picturing yourself in this space and living and doing all these things, because it's not technically a reality, only in your mind, but it has to be a reality in your mind before it can ever be a reality in the 3D. So don't get hung up on what you see that looks like it's going totally against what it is you're asking for. Don't worry about the fact that you don't have the money. Don't worry about the fact that somebody else got the job. Don't worry about the fact that he hasn't called you yet. We're not worrying about any of that, because once you believe it, once you decided that this is clearly what you want to manifest, this is clearly how it feels to have that thing manifest, then the how, it's a done deal. Don't worry about that. It takes practice, but you can do it if you just stay in the feeling, in the embodiment of the thing that you want. Get clear, embody the life of having it, and let go of the how it's going to come about. You're somebody who needs help with this, and you want support in getting to your manifestation, kind of know what you want, you maybe even really clear on what you want, but you still struggle a little bit with getting to the actual manifestation of your dream life. I want you to go to the link below, and I want you to decide to be a part of the Dream for You Society. That is my membership program where it's a group of women. We're coming together to support one another. I'm giving you all the tips and tools that you're going to need to manifest a dream life for you. Letting go of all the self-doubt, the worry, and anything that's holding you back from putting yourself first. You're going to be able to overcome all of that in the Dream for You Society. And the membership link is right below. And if you're still a little bit unclear, you can sign up for a 15-minute free consultation with myself, and we can kind of talk about what would be the best thing for you, your next best steps. Sometimes we just need to know what's the next best thing for me to do. Both of those links are below, so go ahead and click on one or both, and we can get you on the path to your dream life. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and don't be hard on yourself. We all have been there. We've struggled with this manifestation, and when I find that I'm struggling, I always know it's because I'm not being crystal clear on what it is that I want. Once I'm clear, there's no stopping me. There will be no stopping you either. I'm Joanna M. Cameron. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.